What's going on, YouTube? I'm back again. Here's that F1 video I was, you know, saying I was going to make earlier in the week. And I just wanted to touch on a couple topics. Also introduce F1 to my channel. This right here that you're watching is a gameplay that I did yesterday. I recorded. And I'm just in some online lobbies on F1 24. And they're typical F1 lobbies. They're pretty hectic. I think I get in a Monaco game after this one. I don't complete this race, but you guys can watch that as I talk about a couple of topics going into this season and kind of my expectations. And I am recording this after practice, so I have an idea of what I think is going to happen in qualifying. And if you haven't done your Formula One fantasy, make sure you do that. The deadline to do that is tonight. Qualifying is at 1 o'clock where I'm at, 1 o'clock in the morning. So I may be up to watch that. I'll probably be up to watch that. The first qualifying of the year. See who gets pole. See who's the fastest. See where everybody's stacking up after testing. And with that being said, let's kind of transition into the topics going into this season. And I haven't talked about F1 on my channel before, so if you've never watched Formula One, it's a racing series where they take these teams, 10 teams, and they create a car with two drivers. Two people drive them. So there's 20 drivers, 10 teams, 2 people per team. And each team builds a car, and these drivers race for a championship. 2 championships, actually. A constructors for the team, who scores the most points. 2 drivers combined. And then a driver's championship, which is kind of the more popular one. The driver's champion is the best of the best for that year. That's what they're considered. So, a couple topics going into this season of Formula One is the big one is Lewis Hamilton's move to Ferrari. And if you haven't heard of this move, Lewis Hamilton is one of the most successful drivers in this sport. He has, I think, 104 wins, maybe 103. I'm not sure exactly. He has a lot of them. But he has 7 championships. And he is going on 40 or 41 years old into his first season at Ferrari, with it being against many would consider the most talented driver on the grid in Charles Leclerc, maybe quickest. Charles has in his past struggled with some consistency issues, and over the course of a championship, consistency is I would say what makes a champion. If you look at the past champion over the past 4 years, the guy who's been dominating the sport, his name's Max Verstappen. I think on a lap by lap basis in a race, Max Verstappen is the most consistent driver on the grid. I think Lewis on his day and when he's in his comfort zone within a car can match that with Max. I think they showed that in 2021. There were a couple races in 2021 where Max and Lewis were 30 or 40 seconds. I wouldn't say 30, maybe 15 or 20 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, the guy in third place, right? And these two ended up being the contenders for the championship that year. And things fell as they may. But I think the big topic going into this season are the expectations for Lewis going into this year at Ferrari. And in my opinion, he's a contender for the championship, as long along with his teammate. And practice this past practice yesterday showed that the ball is definitely in Ferrari's court right now. Coming out of testing, McLaren were thought to be the favorites. I thought them to be the favorites. They still might be. We'll see going into qualifying tonight. But I may put up another video after that on Sunday and giving like a race reaction. But I think being that Ferrari are contenders, I think McLaren are definitely contenders as well. I think Mercedes and Red Bull are in third or fourth, thereabouts. I think both of those teams are struggling with stiffness. The Mercedes looks definitely the stiffest of the two, but because what gives me that idea is George spun a couple times, has been locking up since testing. The Red Bull has spun a couple times in testing. I think Liam was struggling with a little bit of understeer, I would say, in the first session, practice one. But moving down the order in terms of contenders, definitely Mercedes, Red Bull, 3 and 4. I think fifth would probably have to be Williams. Williams looks strong, especially in the hands of Carlos Sainz. I think that's a good transition into another topic for this year, which is the guy who Lewis Hamilton replaced at Ferrari, and that's Carlos Sainz. He looks the strongest. I mean, going back to last season, Australia was probably his best race, most dominant race. And that was a race that Max had retired from, but Carlos ended up winning that race, right? And that was his first race back from an appendix surgery, or whatever it was. But I think it's no doubt that Carlos is strong here. Whether this form will carry on throughout the rest of the season, yet to be seen. But I think as it sits right now, it's definitely Williams in the fifth spot. Carlos Sainz looks like he's making himself at home in the Williams. If I'm honest, I definitely didn't expect it to happen this quick. I respect Carlos's ability and everything he's done in Formula One thus far, but I don't rate him as highly. I don't know what you guys' opinion on this is, but I don't necessarily rate Carlos Sainz as highly. In my opinion, could change after the season if he shows me something different in that car, but I don't necessarily rate Carlos Sainz as the caliber of driver that Max is, the caliber of driver that Charles is, maybe Lando, Oscar on some days, or even Lewis right now. I think Lewis still maybe has an edge over Carlos in terms of racecraft and race management. And I mean, I'm saying all this, but this is off of past data, of seasons that I've watched. So I've watched a lot of F1, and I think I'm totally based in saying what I'm saying about Carlos Sainz, and that's no disrespect to him, but I think moving on, I think Williams is definitely in the fifth spot. If Carlos Sainz goes on to absolutely wash Alex Albon, I don't know what that says for Alex Albon in his career. This is definitely a make or break year for Alex. We'll see. Moving along. The sixth spot would probably have to be Alpine for me. the Alpine looks steady in Pierre Gasly's hands. They have a rookie as well, Jack Doohan. From reports, it seems his seat is up for grabs, so we'll see what happens with that. I may make a video on that whenever the time comes, if there's a change made for their reserve drivers. If you don't know, they have Franco Colapinto. I'm sure that's widely known, though. But Franco Colapinto was a rookie that showed some promise last year, and fans are eager to see him back on the grid again. So we'll see what happens with that. I think behind them might be Aston Martin with Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll. There's not much to say about them. They got new facilities. We'll see. Adrian Newey is on board. We'll see. After them, I think maybe who would we put after Aston Martin? So that's what we got so far. 5th is Williams, 6th is Alpine, 7th is Aston Martin, 8th is probably RB. I would put RB in 8th. 9th, I would put. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 5.5. I would put Sauber ahead of Haas right now. The Haas looked a bit tough to handle on the softs yesterday. Ollie Behrman kind of threw it into the wall, so we'll see what happens with that, if that impacts his confidence, because Ollie Behrman is one of those, I don't know how many rookies there are, but a couple rookies on the grid. I didn't really get a chance to talk about Kimi Antonelli any, or even Red Bull's dynamic with their rookie Liam. Probably won't actually make a video on that because that's kind of old news as it sits now, but I'll probably do a reaction to their first race and just the first race in general. I think, and you guys can comment down below or do other topics that you may want me to talk about. You can comment those down below if you want to see me talk about something different, or if there's something new that you heard or different things. Just bring them to me. I don't get many comments, so I'll be able to see them. I think that's my grid for right now after practice, and kind of some of the major topics that I wanted to touch on for the Formula One season. There's so many things that I could have talked about and can still talk about, but for a first Formula One video, I just really wanted to get something out there, get my thoughts on it, hear what you guys think about it. We can watch the rest of this gameplay. I had to cut the corner way in the beginning because he cut me off or whatever, knocked me out of first place. So I went ahead and cheated, and then I got a 16-second penalty and put me in 4th. So, but I was in first the whole race. So on track, I am number 1. But I think that'll do it for this video. I did a lot of waffling, as the British would say. But I think it's a starter video for maybe a beginner YouTuber. This may be all right. If you have anything that you want me to talk about in a future video, if you have any thoughts on what I said, you can comment them down below. If it's nonsense, I'll tell you it's nonsense. Okay, but if it's coming from a base place, I'll definitely listen or read, I guess you could say. But that'll do it for this video. catch you guys later. I'll have another road to the playoff video up probably later on this week. I'm gonna record it right now after this video. So y'all know I like my Georgia sweater. You know, if you see it in a couple videos, it's because I washed it, bitch. All right, catch y'all later.